Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
How are you? Good morning, good afternoon. Sorry we're a little bit late, but that is what it's like being married to an obstetrician. That's what happens. Sometimes your schedule is not your own.
No.
So anyway, listen, legumes, Dan. Legumes get a bad rap in the
I know.
media. For some reason, there is some rumor out there that legumes may actually be toxic to our bodies.
Yeah.
Can you either dispel this myth or corroborate it for us, to use a legal term?
Well, when you think about all the people around the world that live the longest, have the most energy, have the most longevity, they eat about a cup of legumes every single day. They love black beans or chickpeas or the other types of legumes that they include in their nutrition plans or their diet plans because of the power that they have.
Okay.
One of the problems that people always talk about is the amount of carbohydrates. Legumes are carbohydrates. Everyone's like, I need to give up carbohydrates. But what legumes have are fiber, and the carbohydrates are bound to that fiber. Even though they might have the carbohydrates in them in their plant form, when we digest them, how we separate those carbohydrates from the fiber isn't very easy.
So when people say, I cut out carbs,
Right.
they don't want to cut out legumes.
No.
They want to cut out the processed carbohydrates, right?
Right.
Like in breads and like
Right.
pastas and all those like processed foods, prepared foods. So legumes they want to keep in, but why do they get such a bad rap? I mean,
Right.
what is it that...
Well, the carbohydrates, like we said,
Okay.
but also there's a big myth out there that the lectins that are in
Okay.
many plants
Yeah.
are part of legumes that help them protect them against other animals eating them while they're trying to grow and survive out there in the world.
Okay.
But once we cook them, and we shouldn't eat any legumes that aren't cooked. And when you buy them already in a can or a box, they're already cooked, so they're ready to go. So the lectins are broken down.
Okay.
They also have phytate in them. Phytates are also part of the way the legumes store their energy. And when we eat them, those phytates have already been grown, already been released into the world as phosphorus, and we can utilize that also. So don't worry about the phytates. People think that that's upsetting to our stomachs, or the lectins, that's upsetting to our stomachs. When we eat them and they're all cooked, they're all out. So
you're
not to
eat,
worry.
You're not going to eat a raw, like, because we do have in the pantry. I know we have some
Bags of them.
some dry beans and legumes. I'm going to talk to you about the beans and legumes thing in a
Sure.
second. But we have some dried, but we're not eating them dry.
No.
Okay, first of all, we crack our teeth. Secondly, we couldn't digest them, and we wouldn't be able
And
to
they'd
use
upset
them.
our stomachs
And so
because of those lectins.
So you're saying cooked legumes,
Right.
we don't need to worry about the lectins because it's breaking down exactly how our body needs it and can utilize it to be something that's health promoting rather than health defeating.
That's right. Just
Okay.
like other foods, more important to cook them. And legumes, a great source of protein, a great source of fiber, which we need
Yeah.
more in our systems every
Okay.
single day, are cooked first so that they can start that breakdown process so they don't upset us. There's
Awesome.
lots of food groups that are like that.
So now legumes and beans. Why do we have to say legumes? Aren't they just beans? I mean,
Well,
what
the thing is, not all not all legumes are beans, but all beans are legumes. What are legumes? Another word that we use are pulses in the plant family.
Dan, not around the kids, please.
But pulses, legumes, they are seeds that grow in a pod that are in something that they line themselves up in a pod. Anything that grows in a pod. And there's other things that are in pods too, where seeds like peanuts, for example, are legumes. They grow in these pods. They're not nuts. They're technically these pulses. They fall in the same
So
family.
you're saying a peanuts beans?
No.
Peanuts are legumes.
Right. And so are like
Okay.
peas, for example. Peas
Peas.
grow in a pod. So peas are also part of the pulse family or legume family, but they're not beans.
Okay. All
So
right.
anything that grows in a pod is considered a pulse or a legume.
So that's why, I mean, legume is just such a funny word to
I
say,
know.
but
French.
legume.
Legume.
But okay, so it includes all the beans.
Right.
All right, great,
And lentils.
Okay.
And peas and peanuts.
Okay.
Anything that's in a pod.
great, awesome. Now, kids especially, and adult kids, sometimes they're like, don't ask me to eat a bean, okay? I'm not doing it, all right? Never mind this legume that you speak about. So sometimes we need to hide these things because, of course, we want our kids and ourselves to get the, health promoting foods. It's one of the four or five, six food groups that we talk about,
Right.
which once again are
4 food groups: fruits, vegetables, legumes, and natural grains. I like to
Okay.
say natural, not whole, because it's not whole grain bread.
Right.
That doesn't qualify. That's a processed grain. But the way nature gave them to us, the brown rice, the quinoa, the oats, those are the natural grains.
And we also throw in the nuts
and seeds. They're
right?
also very grain, right? They're like seeds, right?
So, you may want to try to hide them, like we have done over the years. And sometimes, kids surprise you, like our son Jake, for example. He will not eat any black beans, not having it. He's not eating bean chili. If the beans are in the chili, he's not going to eat it. However, this boy will come home from college and eat an entire bag of peas like he did yesterday, right,
Yes.
Leah? He will eat an entire bag of peas. So that's okay. We'll go with it.
However you get them in, get them in.
So what we'll do for him, for example, if we're making a chili, we will simply get the different beans that we put in the chili, which are black beans. We usually put a variety of beans in our chili. We'll put maybe some pinto beans, some kidney beans, and what we do is we simply just put them in the Ninja or in the food processor, process them up, and then just mix them in with the red sauce, okay, for the chili.
Great way to hide them in
And
there.
so he had
Get
no
them
idea
into
that
your
they're in there.
lives.
Please
Increases the nutritional
don't tell
value
'em.
to almost anything. Right.
Right, exactly. So that's really, really simple. And so we have like a couple of different things that we wanted just to share with you. These are some ways that we eat legumes and our kids eat legumes day in and day out. And so one thing is in an avocado toast or in an
That's
avocado
right.
spread. So we have some things here. Okay, I mean, isn't avocado toast, it's like, who even knew what avocados were when we were growing up?
I know.
I think were they just recently invented, or I don't know what happened, but we never knew anything about avocados. But like you can go anywhere now and get avocado toast, and so we make it at home. So we're going to show you a few different ways. So look at Dan makes guacamole that will beat anybody's guacamole. It is actually award-winning, at least in my mind. But sometimes we just don't have time to cut up the onion and get everything, all the different, what do you put? Onion, you put peppers, sometimes you put sun-dried tomatoes, he puts lemon, lime, and so it's like a masterpiece, okay? And it's like a surgery sometimes, Dan. It's so painstakingly long to make. We just simply sometimes just smash the avocado. It's really super easy to do. And so why don't you just smash us some avocado
ripe
here.
avocados. You know that they're nice and ripe by the color and how nice their texture is soft. You don't want to squish them, but if you just notice how soft they are, that's really a good way to tell. And all I do is take the
let me put this
seed
down.
out by first cutting it in half, twisting it. I pop out the seed, poking on it, just pop it out. So once you have the seed out, I like to get some antioxidants. I just use a little bit of...
That's an antioxidant?
Yes. So
Wow.
anything that's citrus, lime tends to go very well with avocado, and that will block any of the oxidation that happens once these hit the air and they turn brown. We don't want them to turn brown. And one of the other tricks I like to do when I'm making any kind of guacamole or avocado is keep plenty of lime juice around, but when you're mashing them, they're nice and soft. You can mash them up with the spoon, but I like to also use a smasher like that we use to make, for example, mashed potatoes. Look how easy that makes it if I just use a smasher.
Can you guys put some thumbs up in the comments? I'm seeing that there's some people on, but I want to make sure you can hear us, you can see us, everything's going well technology-wise. Can you guys just put some thumbs up in the comments?
A little
please?
salt and pepper,
I don't see.
always, and then a little bit more of the lime juice just to keep it from turning brown. No one likes to eat brown avocado. Once you have it smashed and a little bit of lime juice, then you can just mix it up and you have smashed avocado. Look how easy that is.
So now, Dan, avocado isn't a legume. What are you saying here? What's the legume going on here?
There's no legume here. I mean, this is all just a great fruit that has a lot of healthy fats. Not a saturated fat, but a mono unsaturated fat. Fats are good for us. We don't need a lot of fats, but getting some in your diet is what keeps our bellies nice and satisfied.
But we are going to add.
Just mash them right in.
Hide some legumes.
Just maybe a tablespoon and about this amount.
If your kid's like, oh, I don't
like, I don't want to
peas.
eat
I'm
peas,
not eating peas.
but they love
guacamole,
smashed
or they love
guacamole.
their avocado toast.
So just smash it right
Smash
in.
it in. They'll never know it's there. We have actually another smasher that would probably smash it
That's
even
okay.
better.
This is
Or
good.
a fork. You can even just smash with a fork.
That's right.
So.
Even using the spoon, because these are really soft. These are really soft. And you can see how that green color blends right in with the avocado. They don't even know what's in there.
Okay, so we are going to do some varieties here of things. For everybody today. You know, you can put this avocado toast on, you can make avocado toast a few different ways. I'm going to show you some varieties today.
Okay, mixing that right in.
All right, so guys, this one, sourdough bread. This is a treat, okay? This is a processed food. But of the white breads, those people in the blue zones, you gotta look it up, go to the Google, blue zones, they live the longest, okay? Those areas of the world, they eat sourdough bread. And this is a little bit more healthy than just a plain white bread.
Right, the recipe is very simple to make it. It has a lot of great activated yeast in it that give it that sour flavor. So that it has that fermentation that goes on with that yeast, and that gives it that health properties too.
This is an Ezekiel bread. I will post it in the group afterwards, but it's just a sesame seed Ezekiel bread. Okay?
Sprouted grains.
If you don't want anything processed, just get a beautiful leafy green, and you can make your avocado wrapped in a beautiful leafy green.
Whether it's butter lettuce, whether it's romaine lettuce,
yep, you just
red leaf lettuce, something that's a big leaf.
Yeah, that's easy to chew, easy to roll up, and
easy to roll up.
Okay, so there's
Tasty.
3 different ways that you can put that on here. So what else? Maybe you can dress one. Why don't you dress one of these, Dan? And then we can show some other things that we can do to add other legumes to this.
The thing we're not doing, it's avocado toast. We're not toasting it yet, just for the sake of time and demonstration. But you would normally toast these lightly.
Do not toast the lettuce.
Right.
Okay.
And then
these are invaluable tips, guys, okay? We're trying to keep you safe, too.
And then I always start with putting that avocado, that fat, right on the toast or lettuce.
There you go. All right. So now
And just spread it on.
we've hidden you can smash this up even more so that you can really hide those peas.
Right.
You can even put that in a food processor to totally annihilate
But once
the peas.
once you get them tasting it, they don't
Okay.
even know the peas are in there.
Now we always put some sort of, whether it's arugula, or we could put dill, or we can put, not bean sprouts, but pea pods,
Right.
pea greens, pea on here, and you can dress it up. So we have here some dill
Yeah.
right here, but also Dan made some chickpeas, roasted chickpeas. Another legume that is absolutely delicious. These are nice and crunchy. He put some liquid smoke on them before he put them in the air fryer. So these are nice and smoky flavored. And you can also put this on your avocado toast. And, these are a crowd pleaser. So that's a great way to get some additional legumes in. If you didn't want to put the peas into the avocado, I mean, you can do it, have double legumes. That's
Right.
fine. That's no problem at all. What else, Dan, you can put on here?
I like to
dress
dress
it up. Dress it up. And I'm also going to post in the group some recipes for you, links to some great ways to make avocado toast to give you some ideas. Sliced radishes, sliced red onion. You can also put some hemp seed on here and sprinkle that on if you would like. Some extra boost of protein boosters. Okay, that's good. Or pumpkin seeds. Okay, or both. All right, so it's just like stacking it any way that
Creating.
you want. You could even sprinkle some nutritional yeast on here too. So that's excellent.
Delicious.
All right.
I'm also going to add some color. I love to get the different colors. You can see we have the green. I also love red, so I have some great tomatoes and that I like to slice. And you can see I slice them on the bias just to give them a little more fun shape. People love when their food has, say, a fun shape or a different way that it looks. I think presentation is so important when it comes to getting people and getting your family to really enjoy the foods that you prepare. Look at the color. Look at the way this is all coming together. It's going to be so delicious. Great. And again, once you put these on, if you want to give them a little dress with salt and pepper, a little seasoning. I think seasoning is so important when it comes to making foods more appealing to people.
Yep.
And there we are. Look at that. Look how delicious that looks.
Awesome. So somebody mentioned these containers. Okay, yes, I went to the container store.
Crispers, yeah.
I had a
for our
coupon,
stuff.
and look at this. This is crazy. Just took this out and put it in here. I got a couple different varieties of containers to keep my leafy greens really fresh. I even got one for make-ahead guacamole so that I can keep it really fresh in there. Container store. That was awesome. All right, so another way that we have used, let's do this, okay, I can't see the comments on the computer today, but I can see them on my phone, so that's good. I see people watching. Thank you. Let us know. I'll check in to see if you guys have any questions. But another thing that we love to do is eat hummus. You know, hummus is great. My little grandchildren love to dip. They love to dip in anything, whether it's ketchup or hummus, or last night we had some baba ganoush that was delicious. And baba ganoush, you can actually make it. It's made with eggplant, and but they love dipping into anything.
How do you make hummus? Real simple.
Super simple. You can make it. It's really only
Chickpeas, a little bit of lemon, some garlic, and then you can add water. And like a lot of times the store-bought hummus has a lot of oil and fats that we don't really need.
Yeah.
But if you use a little bit of healthy oil, whether it's sesame oil or you use a little olive oil.
Yeah. How about
olive
canola oil?
Canola oil,
Most
another
of these
one.
store-bought ones will use the canola
Use
oil.
because it's
mostly.
less expensive, but
Okay.
a good oil and a healthy
Yeah.
choice too.
Okay.
But just use some of the oils that, and a very small amount, to
Yeah.
thin out the chickpeas when you're mixing them in your food processor. Water is still the best thing. So chickpeas, lemon,
Yeah.
garlic, a little
You
bit of
don't-
water, and oil just to give it that consistency. Easy to make.
That's right, super easy. If you want to get fancy, you can use some tahini. The Google has plenty of easy to make hummus recipes. It's really inexpensive to make your own. But sometimes you just want to go to the store-bought. So we have a couple that we really like. We have the roasted red pepper. My kids love. I have not tried this yet. I just got it and I had to get it. It's everything bagel.
That's
So
one of
good.
our favorite little
Okay.
spices in the spice
So
rack.
good, everything bagel, seasoned hummus. So there's that. So one of the things that we really like to make is falafel. Okay, again, now this one I'm going to
mouth
show you.
waters
All
thinking
right,
about
I'm
it.
going to show you this. Look at this. Okay, look at how delicious. Here's your falafel made with chickpeas. Okay, hidden in here. Okay, the legumes. We've got some of the everything bagel, everything but the bagel hummus, the red pepper. We've got some salad over here. Look at this. This is an incredible, easy,
Simple.
make ahead, have ahead. These we did get at a local
Restaurant.
Mediterranean restaurant.
But they're
that we
easy to
got.
make. It's chickpeas again in the food processor
Yep.
that you then form into little patties. The way these are, you put them in the air fryer. They fry right up. You can use your oven and just put them on some parchment paper on a baking sheet, and they'll easily crisp up for you.
You can eat them cold. You can eat them hot. These are a great snack. I mean, falafel is just such a awesome you can crumble it up, put it in a salad. Again, a nice way, you can take this if, your kids are like, I'm not eating for what? Well, what is
Right,
it?
right.
Okay, crumble it up, put it in something, all right? So, go ahead.
But also, when you look at the consistency of them,
And look at that inside, so good.
it's so good.
Yeah.
And what do our kids love to do? One of their favorite things to do, and the reason why they eat cucumbers, tomatoes, falafel, is they love to dip.
They do, they love to dip.
So when
That's
you
right.
dip things and eat them that way, and it makes it fun for them. So break it up, let them dip it, let them enjoy both the hummus, the falafel, and all the vegetables that are there.
Oh my gosh, Terry, an air fryer? Are you kidding me? You have to get it. It is absolutely essential. It's great. We're going to do an air fryer demonstration
Sure
one
we
of
will.
these days, and we'll show you all the things that we do in our air fryer. But I also got this. Yeah, we can see the people here. I also got this. I picked this up at the store, and Dan, let's see if this is okay. This you can make your falafel yourself. Again, I'll post a link. And yes, and I do take the husks off when we're making either the roasted chickpeas or if we're making the falafel. And that's really simple to do. And this is Dan's technique. I don't know. Did you read this somewhere?
No,
or
I
don't
just
know.
thought of it.
Tell them your technique for taking the husk, which is like the little skin, off of the chickpea before roasting it.
Right, so
using
when
it.
you get chickpeas, whether they're in a can or a box, and they're all cooked for you, once you take them out and rinse them, because many of them have, even though they're low salt, they still have salt on them, and it gets a lot of the salt off. So when you rinse them, they have water on them. And then when you put that in the air fryer, that's going to steam them rather than roast them. So when you want to get that water off, so as I wanted to get the water off, I would put them on a towel, on a dish towel. I get a clean dish towel and put them on there to get the water off and dry them off. And that, I roll them in that dish towel, and that gets all those light husks off them.
That's
so
right.
that they're naked, and when they're naked, they just roast up so much more crispy, and you don't have all of that those skins on the chickpeas, and it just takes them off. So just simply rinse them, roll them in a towel, and those skins come right off.
That's right. It's great. Okay, so falafel mix. Okay, I picked this up. Dan, here we go. Ingredients: garbanzo beans, wheat flour, yellow split peas, turmeric, granulated onions, granulated garlic, sodium bicarbonate, sodium pyrophosphate, parsley, salt, black pepper, and spices.
Right.
No added sugar.
Right. So you notice when I open up the falafel, you see that it has that kind of green color, whether that's parsley or cilantro, whatever you want to use for that green to give it a little flavor and a little bit of that color.
Yep.
That's a great leaf to add to it. The falafel mix, just like pancake mix, read the ingredients like Pamela just did.
Yeah.
A little bit of wheat flour. Again, it doesn't say whole wheat flour, a little bit, but that's what gives it its ability to bind together to make that little patty for you along with the chickpeas, and it won't fall apart. But a great, simple way to make falafel is to get the mix. It's easy to put it together too. And again, finding those recipes are easy when you have something like Google, just a Google falafel recipe.
And for those of you who need to eat gluten-free, if you have a gluten sensitivity or possibly something worse, an allergy, then just go to the Google and just put in gluten-free falafel, okay?
Right.
And you will find, I am sure, dozens of recipes, if not hundreds of recipes and varieties of ways to
Because you can use just chickpea flour itself.
That's right.
But you just want something that's very finely ground up so that it can be as a binder when you put together your patties.
So don't be afraid of legumes. Don't be afraid of beans. What else can we say? Just enjoy the food, and hopefully we've given you some ideas of ways to use legumes and hide them.
Being creative.
Yes. Did you say being creative?
It's being creative.
All right, you guys. Have a great day. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.